P.O.L. Game Review.
Hey, what up, y'all? IntraVenus here, back with another episode of P.O.L. Game Review, and today I'm finally continuing
the Spawn Collecting Series.
That's right, this is part 12 of a series I started maybe 2 years ago, and I've collected a lot of new Spawn figures since then, and I've got a lot to talk about. But today we are talking about some collections and some oddities, some things that are a little more rare, some things that are off the wall, not necessarily Spawn figures, but mostly Spawn figures. And first off, we're going to take a look at this exclusive collection that was from a ComicCon, I believe in 2004, and this here is Spawn and Miracleman. So Spawn and Miracleman, you don't really see this much, and I got this actually for $50 long after I wasn't actually at the Comic-Con, but it says here on the back, this extremely limited edition figure set features a 4-inch scale action figure of Todd McFarlane's Spawn, along with the 4-inch PVC version of the larger Miracleman resin statue. This set is exclusive and was only available at Comic-Con International 2003 in San Diego. And we're getting close-ups of everything here, but while I tell you about it, we'll take some looks here in person as well, so you can get an idea of the scale. Yes, this is a smaller set, and it has 2 figures in there along with the stand. And these you will see sometimes used, but honestly, it's a little more rare, and it's definitely one of the more collectibles and sturdier, solid collectibles, might I add. Some of these, the plastic gets a little brittle. This is Miracleman, who I don't know much about, honestly. I believe he's from Marvel Comics, I want to say, but I'm not sure. There's also a guy called Man of Miracles for Spawn, and you know, maybe you should look into it for yourself, and I'll come back and talk about Miracleman more in another episode. But let's go ahead and continue on to another item. Now this one's really cool, and I'll have to note that it does say for ages 5 and up on the packaging, which seems a little odd because Spawn isn't made for kids. Next up, I have a controversial item because it's a Spawn figure, you might say, though it's actually from the Total Chaos series of Al Simmons. But this is actually signed by Al Simmons, aka Spawn, in 1997. The thing about this is Todd McFarlane actually sued a former member of his work crew named Al Simmons after the man went and wrote an autobiography claiming that the character was based on himself. I've heard rumors that Todd McFarlane used to have a roommate in college named Al Simmons, and that's who he was based off of. I'm not sure if that's really true at all. I do know that Todd McFarlane did have a case against an Al Simmons, and I believe this is signed by the man who was masquerading as the Al Simmons. And here in the close-ups you'll see that it's actually a really cool Al Simmons action figure. This figure was released, you can see, on the Total Chaos Series 1, and it's from back in 1996. And while we look at this, let me go ahead and read you the card, because all of these have a clip and collect from the older series. Al Simmons. Loyalty and honor were the chief factors that the Accord considered when selecting Simmons. His experience in covert military operations on 20th century Earth also makes him valuable in the team. He is now equipped with an arsenal of weapons. The most lethal include a flamethrower and missiles that are laser guided by his helmet. New battle armor also protects his from a variety of weapon attacks. And you'll see on the bag here that Total Chaos Series 1 came with a variety of characters including Dragonblade, Hoof, Thresher, Gore, and Thorax. I don't know much about the Total Chaos series or the action figures, but it's pretty cool, and I like that Al Simmons is there for it. Yes, this is a pretty cool action figure, and I had to get it because of the Al Simmons. Honestly, it said it was signed by Al Simmons. I knew a little bit of the story, though I did look into it more after I got this, and I find it very intriguing that this is signed by Al Simmons. I think the man might have gone around to Comic-Cons and stuff like that and was sitting at a table signing action figures and comic books. You'll see a lot of things online. Go ahead on eBay, you could probably find something signed by Al Simmons. Pretty weird. Alright, next up we have something that is in some of that brittle plastic. It has some yellowing from the sun. This is a very large package, actually, as this is from Japan, featuring an American action figure in there. Now, this is the blue special limited edition of Angela, which I have featured on the show previously, I believe, but this one is encased with a Japanese VHS tape of the animated series. It's got 50 minutes of Spawn the Animated Series, which was an awesome HBO animated series. They had 3 seasons, I believe, and you can check it out right now on Max, if I am correct. Now, it depends on when you watch this video. You can also find it on VHS, obviously, and DVD and Blu-ray. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't, because it's the best way to see an animated Spawn. Because, I mean, the live-action movie wasn't that great. Go ahead and check that out, too. This is pretty cool. I'll read you a little bit off the VHS here. It has Episode 3, No Rest, No Peace, and Episode 4, Dominoes. He waits, as they all do, for a sign, a warning. Something to set events in motion. Few warriors realize that the battle between heaven and hell is constant, ongoing, incident after incident. Part of an unending chain, the domino principle. That's what scientists call it. One thing happens that triggers another, and another, and another, and in the end, all will be revealed. No matter how wonderful or hideous the result, warriors always feel events churning around them, spiraling, closing in. Some sit and wait too long. Others listen to their instincts and prepare. And that is, of course, from Series 2. And that's way back in, I believe, 1995. Now, the VHS says 1997. And this is a limited edition. Sometimes they do these repaints a year, 2 years after the original pressings were out. So there it is, y'all. Quite an interesting set. We have a Japanese Angela VHS combo. Now, let me know if you have one of these. Next up, we have a smaller item. This is also a combo pack. And it has both the number 8 issue of Spawn, as well as a Hot Wheels car. And this is a Hot Wheels of the Spawn funny car. I'm not going to explain funny cars to you too much, but I can tell you this, that this is based on a car that Todd McFarlane purchased a long time ago after he started to get popular with his Spawn series. The only way he could convince his wife to let him purchase the funny car, which he had always wanted, is if he promised her that he'd use it in promo. And so he actually ended up painting up this funny car with the Spawn logo, and it was obviously used in promo as the Spawn Mobile, and was pretty much similarly featured as a vehicle for the Spawn action figures. And this is the Spawn funny car Spawn Mobile. And on the back here, you'll see it says it contains a Todd McFarlane Spawn comic and the very limited edition Hot Wheels Spawn Mobile. And this is really cool, and this one's in really good condition too. I'm excited to have this Spawn Mobile pack. On the back, you'll even see it says, Spawn heads, get this limited edition Max card free with this ludicrously lowball subscription offer. You could get these subscriptions for only $2.08 an issue back then, of course with your mail-in card. And that's from May 1st, 1993. So there's the Spawn limited edition Spawn Mobile along with issue 8. I believe I've seen those packed with different issues, possibly issue 6 once, maybe it was 6 through 8. If you have any, let me know down in the comments. Alright, this is second to last, and this one is a combo pack as well, though it's not retro. This happened quite recently, but it's based on something that's been happening for a while. Spawn and Batman first teamed up in 1994 in 2 comic book issues. They weren't that great of comics, though they did feature great artwork, and they were supposed to be ended with a 3rd comic that was never produced. Now, just about a year or so ago, another Batman and Spawn comic book came out. It was the end of 2022, if I'm correct. And then they made this awesome DC edition double pack. This twin pack features Spawn and Batman. And though it is from the DC multiverse, keep that in mind, Spawn's in the DC multiverse, this is still made from McFarlane Toys. So I'll show you some close-ups here, and this is a really nice set. I like it a lot, and I just couldn't pass it up. I have started collecting the newer Spawn toys, and that's why I've changed the names of these videos from retro Spawn figures to just collecting Spawn action figures, because from this point on, I'm going to be collecting all of them. So I also got comic books too, and I'm going to show you some comic books here real quick that just tie into this. So let's go ahead and check out some of those comics, and I'll tell you about them. But this is a really cool set. I love the detail, the weight, the packaging. It's a really good set of Spawn and Batman. And like I said, the Spawn and Batman comics started in 1994 with a comic from Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane themselves just called Spawn Batman, and that was printed on Image Comics. It was followed up by an issue called Batman Spawn, and it was called War Devil. So Batman Spawn War Devil is from Doug Moench, Chuck Dixon, Alan Grant, and Klaus Janson. And it features a little bit more of a... I would say that the second one has a little bit more going on than the first one, but honestly, the 3rd comic is the best, which actually came out from, you know, Image Comics and through Todd McFarlane as a Spawn comic. And so here we have a limited edition glow-in-the-dark cover, and this is the one without the label on top. That's the newest Spawn. Going back, we have Spawn, Batman and Spawn War Devil. So War Devil has a pretty cool cover. I'm sure they all have several covers. And then, of course, the first one, which was Spawn Batman. I believe I've shown this one in one of my episodes previously. It's pretty awesome that they've teamed up, and I gotta say, it would be really cool if we could see Spawn and Batman in a movie or an animated film, anything. I would really like to see them team up in more than a comic book. So let me know down in comments if you're interested in that, if you picked up the Spawn and Batman collection in any respect. Finally, we have the largest action figure I have in general, and this is from Todd Toys, McFarlane Toys rather. And just soon after they changed the name from Todd Toys, I believe, as this is the Super Size action figure. This is from a series that only had 4 action figures. The Super Size action figures included Violator, Angela, Spawn, and Medieval Spawn. And you can see this is a big figure. This is modeled after the Violator 2 action figure, but it is obviously a lot larger, and it comes with a really cool base that has some skulls and detailed paint in it. This is one of my favorite items that I have in my Spawn collection, and I do plan on getting the rest of the Super Size action figures, but they take a lot of space, and I'm running out of space actually, so I'm gonna need someplace to put these. But that's cool because yeah, I could use, heck, I want 2 of these because I want one out of the box that I could post. This is freaking amazing. So you'll see on the back here in the close-ups that this features several series from the Spawn action figures sets. And so I would say that this came out more than a couple years after they changed from McFarlane Toys to Todd Toys. Actually, it features an 800 number for the Collectors Club on the back. Obviously, there are no websites listed here yet. And we have Series 7, Series 8. We have Todd McFarlane's Monsters Series 1, his Kiss figures, the Spawn movie figures, and Total Chaos Series 2 is listed there, as well as the Manga Spawn Series 9, which is an awesome series. I really like Manga Ninja Spawn, Manga Clown, and Manga Violator. So I think this is really freaking awesome. Let me know down below if you have one of these gigantic figures, super size figures. One of my favorites. And heck, there it is, folks. We've just wrapped up our first Spawn action figure collecting video in a long time, and I'm so glad to have heard in the comments that some of you actually were watching these and requested more, and so heck, I decided to make them, and I've collected a lot more. We're doing a lot of things here, so please hit the like and subscribe button down below if you're interested in seeing more. It really helps out the channel. And guess what? I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.